play the first to three where some of these players may shine even more. But I feel like you have to earn that. You know, and I'm glad you have to earn that factor. You already have the round robin that keeps you in as long as you stay consistent, and then you are rewarded with that first to three in the playoffs, which we'll see again tomorrow. Actually, I think in the second half of the day, we'll be seeing like top 16 to top 8, and then we'll finish things off on Sunday
I believe so.
for top 8 all the way through. So that is going to be very sick to see. We'll have both streams once again for that, so make sure y'all can catch all of the action. Make sure you don't catch or don't miss a single iota, a single punish counter. We're not going to miss a single second right now of this action. We're right into it. Wes is locked in. Look at that face. So get away from me. I know that eye. I know those eyes. Leave me alone.
Say less. There we go.
Yeah.
Ian, equally as focused right now, I think. Maybe clean out his glasses. Got to be able to see, man. You're going to start doing any whiff punishes, man. You got to be able to see the spacing in between the toes, especially playing against Jury.
Look at him staring at him. He's like, I'm gonna kill this guy in the game. I'm gonna get him.
Oh,
I'm gonna get him.
It's controller?
He's pretending that's Shin's heart.
Grabbing.
He's pretending that's Shin's heart right now, bro.
Vicious, man.
Bro, he does.
Look at if he takes his game.
Yeah. Oh God, don't look at me. Oh God, he's looking at the camera. Oh man. Oh God, that's a murder face right there. You think murder face? That's murder face West, right? Murder face Shin. Shin got a murder face. He got a face like, I'll make some content after this, bro. I'll put this on the YouTube. I'm sure Wes is a very nice guy.
Oh, I'm sure everyone. I don't think I've met anyone in the FGC who hasn't been a nice guy. You know what I mean?
Well, the Twitter fingers, but people in person have been fantastic. You know, I've met Shin.
I think that's a good way to put it.
Yeah, Shin's a really great guy. He's really funny. You know, when you meet him offline, he's a very kind dude. As most players are. You'd be surprised at how many players, like, you see them and how they play, and there's no way that you're going to be a kind-hearted person. We talked about Takamura being that wild child. There's like no way that you play like that and you just like kind-hearted dude. He come up to you, shake your hand, give you a hug, and be so kind, have the nicest, softest voice, and then play Ken, and then do Dragon Lash raw on the neutral.
Like the thing is, we always say like, oh, how can you be so nice and then play X character? I genuinely can't think of a single character in Street Fighter 6 where if you tell me you play them, I'm thinking, oh, he's a nice guy.
Yeah.
Nah, you're a bully.
You know
everyone's a bully in this game, man. Like, I'm thinking, like, oh yeah, we could say Manon. Like, nah, even if she's bad, you never want to fight Manon. Like, yeah, and she's degenerate, or can be at least. And then Heath's the same thing. Yeah, he's bad, but he's still a grappler. He's still gonna SPD you on your own wake up, like on his own wake up. Like that will happen, you know. Every character in this game is got some grimy stuff, you know. Even like, I mean, Cammy especially, of course. No one likes the Cammy players for some reason. Scammy Cammy, exactly.
I could give you a lot of reasons why people don't like. I could give you, if you want me to give you the scroll, I'm sure even Chad could give you that too as well. But I think you're right. I think every character, even no matter weak or strong, has things to complain about that you're like, dang, this character is ridiculous. But that's what's great about this game is that the power level is so high. And speaking of power levels, these are two top tiers out here, Jury and DJ. Let's see who's going to take it. Wes on the DJ. No, I'm sorry. Wes is on the Jury, actually. Things are switched, I think. No way that he is running DJ.
It would definitely be the other way around.
Yeah.
But here we go, yes. I mean, Wes just taking the corner already with a nice back throw. Big opportunity now. Coming at you. That stand strong from Jury. Definitely one of the best tools. One of the few plus on block buttons without drive rush. Really good for pressure.
Very, very good. And you have that fireball too up in the corner, but Wes finds Shin finds his way out. Follow up, checking the lows, trying to catch him walking back. Luckily, Shin's defense is good, takes the trade. Not that bad for Wes until he got hit. If you can keep him in the corner, he can really work him. You run those fireballs and the crouching medium punch, or just hit with that drive impact. We talked about how Wes has a million buttons per minute. He is all about that offense, and he's all about sealing that deal. The first win on the side of Wes with the Jury.
All right. I mean, just doing DI, right? I mean, it was risky. Definitely could have DI'd back, had the help for it, and definitely would have killed. But you know what? Maybe it's a little bit later in the day. You're going to test your luck a little bit. And go into that feng shui engine. The overhead. What that hard knockdown? That was what?
What?
But we've got the feng shui pressure still going on. The hold parry for all that drive gauge back.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. That drive rush medium kick, we talked about these buttons off the drive rush. A lot of distance, especially that medium kick that has even more range. Not strange to see it. Meaty fireball. One more hit into level 3. Will seal the deal. Actually, on the other side of things, I'm mixing up the bar because of the names. But still, Wes, he's bleeding. He does have CA, can equalize things. A jump back, medium kick. I love that option. Level 3 here from the side of Shin to equalize things. Actually, level 2.
I think I prefer
the
this.
reset?
You save the 1 bar, and also you get the corner. Like, it's way better than neutral jump. Gonna punish first from Wes, who's still in burnout. So the DI was very scary. Gonna finish off that combo, and wow, the comeback from Wes. I mean, that was all. I mean, the comeback from Shin. That was all Wes's game to lose.
It's the time. It's the names. It's the names.
It is.
It's
I'm getting mixed, brother.
We're getting mixed, and about to get mixed right here. If we get caught up in the corner against this character, the area right there. Now, I like how it drops it down. Yeah, for that fireball pressure right after. Shin now sneaking in the impact, taking a page out of Wes's book with this aggression session up in the corner. Shouts to Yipes. Jump fierce, gets a light starter. It should be the finish. And one more actually goes for the greatest of spots for that perfect KO. And there you go, Shin.
Yeah, looking very strong right now. Again, Wes had a really good position to win that first game, but it's just unfortunate, man.
Yeah, Shin's doing a good job keeping the corner.
Yeah,
the steamrolling effort.
Yeah.
Only one level 3 away from out of the money. one level 3 outside the million, the lion's share of that million. Walk up throw though. See that punish counter, and again getting another one off. Again, Wes's corner pressure is fantastic. It's just the defense has been not there, and this is not over yet. Shin can make the comeback. It's a long road. And it's one touch. There's the crouching meter kick to seal the deal. Wes trying to stave out these set points.
All right, that's one. And we'll see. Obviously, again, was in this position in the last game. Let's see if he can carry this on, but dry rush forward. You can see Wes even tried to check it, right, but got whip punished because you're a little bit too quick. Your reactions are too good, Wes. Calm it down.
Yeah, you gotta get like a 35-year-old type of reactions. Like they're there, but they're not there. What's there is this activation, the level 2 corner carry, and a lot of bar just still there. Get a lot of setups if you'd like to, and this also extends that pressure and those combos for that damage that she's looking for.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you basically have to block, but luckily there's a parry button that does all the blocking for you. That's a punish. Maybe Wes thought the stand short would actually reach, not quite though.
Walks underneath. Here. Impact.
Never mind.
Oh, Shin on set point after just sinking these drive impacts continuously. Wes has got to pull back just a little bit to sniff these drive back impacts out. We've seen them too often, too much in the corner.
Oh yeah, I like that though. Punish counter throw. Obviously, Shin didn't really know what side Wes would end up, so the parry is a good way to hedge your bets. But Wes one step ahead, throws the parry. Speaking of throwing the parry, Shin gets one on Wes, and the
I think that should. Oh, was able to cancel to stay solid. It's more about, I just thought that you'd be able to get like a cancel to DP like immediately or a button, but I guess just wasn't meant to be. There's a level 3, and now Shin in the lead. See another drive impact. No, he's in burnout.
Oh, nice weight right there. And the meaty projectile for the chip for the plus frames. And Shin gonna take it 2-0 over Wes. I mean, that was just a clean set. What can I say? I mean, that was unfortunate with the functional engine. Maybe he thought he was gonna cross up, tried to cross cut and got the level 2 out, or something like that. That's the only reason I could see. I think that happening. Very unfortunate time to happen for Wes. Didn't manage to keep his win streak going after beating Nephew, and didn't manage to upset the bracket too much. I think that would probably be Shin pretty much qualified for that playoff spot now after beating Wes and beating Mr. Crimson now. He should be 4-1. Only need one more game, I believe, probably against Nephew again, and that'll be securing his position. I'm pretty sure he's qualified now. Just depends on that number 1 and number 2 spot.
Well, if that's the case, congratulations to Shin. We'll see him a little later tomorrow. If that's the case, have to see how things fall numerically. But I gotta say, that clean play up in the corner, those drive impacts, taking a page out of Wes's book, who loves to drive impact continuously in the neutral or even in the corner. I mean, Shin's always been kind of an aggressive player every so often when he gets that momentum going. We're gonna be seeing this here in the highlight sector. But again, bro, just how he's able to, put Wes on the back foot, which is no small feat considering how aggressive Wes is.
Yeah, and obviously managed to close out the first round with, like you said, Cola, that DI in the corner. And no one in this set managed to counter it. Maybe a bit later in the day, maybe the heat is getting to people in Riyadh. But yeah, a little bit slower on the reactions compared to what we saw at the start of the day, where a lot of people were very, very hot on reacting to the DI But maybe again the mental stack just getting a little bit too much this late in the tournament. And it's all adding up, and especially when the pressure's on, you know, we've seen it happen at Evo, right? Evo top 6, I'm pretty sure there was not a single DI that was counted, so in the corner at least.
Oh, no.
So when the pressure's high, man, it's a real option.
So I think we're going to be getting like up real soon here, because I mean, this is just clinical play right here. Drive impacts, you know, great meter management, just harassing. And that level 2, I guess, as you know, chat people are saying, does not recover in time to get like a side switch. So even that maybe the intention, he just didn't have the recovery to be able to get a button out. That's unfortunate, but you know, he was also deep to the ground. So anyway, the next play we're gonna be moving and grooving on is going to be, I think, I'm not sure, we have Latif and Otani coming up eventually. It's part of our final matches at the bottom of these groups.
I think we'll also see Mono versus Punk again. Oh no, it was Punk versus Zen, I believe.
Zen, yeah, the rematch.
Well. I think he's on the A stream right now playing, so we'll have to wait for that match for sure. But yeah, there's definitely just so much still to play for. Many of these groups, again, still aren't even decided yet. Definitely want to see what's going to happen with the Angry Birds group. Like I mentioned, losing 2 games now, Angry Bird, who is still very easily could qualify for that playoff spot. But imagine if he doesn't make it. The Evo champ drowning in pools, like, oh my god, you would never hit the end of it.
I mean, you know, I'm not gonna prophesize no demise and be like, yo, he's definitely out of here. But it should make sense. Like, you win something like that, and you've been hot. People look to you. They study you. Like that. You know, I'm not gonna say it should happen, but I wouldn't be surprised if it happens in terms of like people being like, I gotta get this guy. Like, I gotta defeat this dude right here. This guy is the one. It kind of happens like that just in general, because people naturally are like, how are they studying the game? And the Birds have always been the blueprint for Street Fighter 6. You know, in terms of how to approach this game. I wouldn't be shocked and surprised if, you know, Vega Patch and Kills You have been hardcore studying this dude, and obviously how to fight Ken, because, you know, Angry Birds has been on a tear even before Evo. I heard that he was, you know, doing really good out at the Rebel Comité in terms of like the casual play. Didn't lose to anybody out there. After you hear a story like that, you're like, this guy right here is the guy.
Casuals, but also when you're playing the guy who hasn't lost yet, it's no longer casuals. You're like, I gotta beat this guy. I gotta beat this win streak. If his winner stays on and he's there for 4 hours straight, like something's wrong, man. Something's wrong. Yeah. I mean, Angry Bird, obviously, I mean, off the back of winning Evo, it's still super impressive. But you know, you can't lie. Like, it wasn't like he dominated. You know, it was he had very close sets continuously all the way up into that grand finals with Mena RD, who did get the reset. And then did come down to like a final game situation, and yeah, he was with most clutch. But that's the beauty of the FGC, it's the beauty of fighting game tournaments, is that it's just who's the best on the day, right? On the day when it matters, when it counts, who's the better player, and that's what matters in the end in these tournaments. And it's incredibly difficult to continue that form, right? You go to another international invitational, and yeah, you have the ability, but do you have the ability on that day? And again, for the people who did go to Evo and things like that, it becomes harder because obviously you're traveling so much. You're definitely fatigued to some extent, mentally, physically, however you might imagine.
Exhausted.
Exactly, and it adds up. It does compound.
No, I agree. I think there's definitely an element of like, you have to be aware of those things as a competitor. Even for the players that didn't go to Evo, you know, they maybe weren't warmed up, right? You know, you weren't playing in the salty sweet casuals and stuff like that. Day after day, you weren't sneaking in the secret salty sweet sets, you know, in other places and stuff. You weren't hitting up players to get practice. You were sitting at home maybe playing Sephiroth 6969 420 and not getting, you know, what you need. So like, there's variables and variants to everything, right? There's benefits and there are pluses and minuses to everything, you know, so you just have to be prepared and ready no matter what you do. Like, if you know you're going for a trip and you have to come back and immediately play, you have to figure out, how do I keep my stamina up? Because this game makes a lot of work. You watch players, you watch the Birds be like, after a first attempt, be like, bro, I'm done. Like, and then someone's like, can I play? Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough. It is tough. The game is hard. Like, and obviously Evo being a 7,000 man tournament, like, yeah, that's a long tournament as well. So, I mean, I know for me, even just like doing commentary and just occasionally playing and things like that in tournaments, I will be so tired. Like, you know, come to the Sunday, I'll be so exhausted. I get home on the Monday, and I will be dead, you know. So these players who just come for traveled all the way to Las Vegas from the Middle East, people like Big Bird and Angry Bird, and then from Las Vegas travel all the way to Riyadh. And it's just madness, man. And obviously the talent as well. So you see people like Damascus and Vicious and stuff who are at Evo flying across. It's super impressive what they do.
Yeah, I saw Rob. He like flew out Sunday of all things. I'm like, dang. And I didn't even know I wasn't even supposed to, because originally, I had stuff with another commitment this day, and they were like, okay, we can work around it. I said, really? And so I had to prepare the day before, get ready, and stuff like that. So shouts to Gamers8 for letting me come on the casting with you. I'm sorry, commentating because we're FGC with you out here digitally giving
all. Let you live for that one.
He would say what? He would say, excuse me.
What'd you say?
What'd you say? Yeah. It is commentary out here, or commentary, as the British would say.
Maybe when Project Outcomes comes through, I'll be like, yes, it's casting. Like Riot Games. Well, when Riot Games tell me to say something, yes, sir.
Yeah. Jump. How high? How high?
Exactly.
Ooh, we getting Otani.
Thank you very much.
Well, we're getting Otani and Latif. Oh, let's go.
Does anyone know in chat who won out of Menardi and Otani? I'm sure we would have seen it if Otani did upset Menardi, but I saw him at game up. It was 1-0 to Otani. I imagine Menardi maybe made that comeback, but that will definitely make this pool a little bit more interesting. I think Phenom's still the shoe-in to get out in that second place, but Otani, if he can beat Latif here, might not be completely out of the running.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Otani right now trying to work Latif. This would be a good way, but I think Latif has had a lot of practice. He's already fought quite a few Lukes have watched his stream, so he's definitely had the practice. But here's the call out on the throw. Seems like about to see some praise to Otani. He techs mid-screen, gets the corner carry. Latif harassing up in the corner with these throws. Once again, scamming Cammy. Strike throw. Just take the throw, huh?
That easy, man. Cammy definitely one of the best throws in the game. Pressure-wise, for the just for pure frame advantage, gives it a lot of freedom to do stuff like that. And that's the name of the game in Street Fighter 6, man. You get to that corner, you're going to have to guess at some point, and you got to accept it. All right.
Upper stuff is just really loopable. Yeah.
Yes.
Upper stuff is very loopable, Again, the spiral arrow, no bar spent for that Oki. It's just not about the damage. It's about how you continuously in these situations where it's her turn, and all it takes is her landing off a light or a crouching medium kick. The fact that she can get the stuff off a light is pretty dangerous too as well.
Yes, honestly, one of the biggest strengths of any character in this game that you can have is being able to do drive rush light off of a light confirm into a heavy, which will normally lead to bigger specials, bigger corner carry, lots of things like that, and you don't have to expend too much. Oh, level 3 coming in for Latif, and I don't think the killer be. You know what? I'm not even gonna bother saying it. He's alive.
I waited because I actually did not know. 1 for 1, but that'll get it done. Just a dab off the jab. Latif, you carried. Latif can't say that because Cammy's pretty good.
Cammy, yeah.
Yeah, what to say? Hold up now. Latif can't say that.
For a while. I know.
Game point here, Latif.
Had to learn how to play neutral after playing Cammy, man. It was hard.
Yeah, you said it, not me, but I'll agree with you. Oh, the bait though. Drive rush, stutter step. Base up the DP. Otani had to waste some bar for that, but we'll get this conversion. Chaser, still plus. Text a throw, though. No grip.
Oh, that jump fierce, man. I mean, Latif, we all know that stream title, man. I've had everyone cracking up on Twitter. Just jump at him, man. He can't anti-air with his bar. He's definitely doing that right.
Yeah. Latif, off from that light kick, says, get close to me. If you get in this range, it's your own fault if you get hit. I'm going to start swinging out light kick. If you get hit, it's your own fault. Try to take advantage of Otani's pensiveness for that dive kick. Doesn't get anything. Here's the throw, though, from Otani. Drive rush. Oh, he charged up the heat knuckle. Still get the conversion. Beast mode. Oh, level 1.
Vulcan blast. Not going to be enough. Jab goes for the tick throw. Expecting maybe a flash knuckle right there. That was actually minus. I mean, Otani could have pressed and definitely counter hit Latif for the round there. But just going to play the footsies. Just going to whip punish with that stand medium kick instead. And 1 round now for Otani.
Yes, good stuff here from Otani. Gonna walk him down, trying to get that drive rush in. But I feel like they're scared of doing even drive rush. That light kick has just been exemplified. So Latif will come to him. 2- my friend, and there's a punish. Chaser. I don't know if that was plus as Latif went to press, or just maybe if it was plus, Latif just didn't care.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I don't know. I don't know if he's just whiffing that or if that's intentional. The Avenger no Chaser. I mean, I know you can make it like 0 on block, but on whiff, I don't know.
I think it is plus, just like in Street Fighter 5. But, oh man, perfect parry. Let us kill. He actually kills the gauge. And I love that from Otani. Look at the drive gauge. Kill that with the super. Heavily scaled. But what's not scaled is the drive gauge when you aim for it. Otani trying to harass, but I don't know if Latif cares. No anti right there. Crouching medium kick hits. Off the backboard. Light knuckle, heavy. Drive rush in the big here from Otani. Doing it right back to him to get the drive impact that tied things up and hits the beast mode.
Damn, just for the stream right there. Beast mode, baby. Evening out the game.
Divorced.
1-1. And here we go. All right. I mean, that was a pretty clutch game for Otani. Oh, big jump in on the low forward. Gonna spend it on the DDT. I actually love that move. I just wish it didn't cost 3 bars.
Yeah, it's kind of wild. We do get okay after that. Yeah, maybe that's the reason. Yeah. Especially when it gets this character or you're so close and he'll catch your walk back with the crouching light kick. It makes sense, but it's also kind of wild. Otani, Latif, even out in games.
That's my season 2 prediction. They'll nerf Luke, but they'll make his EX follow-ups a lot better. They'll make him cost like a half a bar or like maybe nothing. Who knows? Maybe they're really spicy with it.
Please don't. What a whip punch. Look at this. Please don't. Neutral jump again. No anti-airs found for the side of Latif. He's gone for these tags. We haven't seen. I don't think back brainless would have worked. But just in general, the anti-airs have been really bad here for Latif. Maybe the mental stack's too much. Perfect parry. Goes for a punish. He wants to get that chaser. This time walks back with the crouching kick on the tech, and just like that, big damage and damage to the drive gauge. Spiral arrow wakes up with violence. ODDP here from Otani.
Just waking up with violence also. Otani, man, just keeping his momentum going. He wants to close this out right now. The Vocal Blast obviously not going to be enough. In burnout now. Stun, you don't have to worry about it. If you're Latif, you can block this out, but you're getting close to that burnout yourself. Level 3 nearly on deck for Latif. He is burnt out. The air to air, the jump back. One more hit. CA on deck.
He knows it. Otani knows it. Latif has up CA. Can't whip anything. Oh no, that's like OD fireball doubling down with it, but you don't want to be too obvious. Might be jumped in on. OD1. Maybe. Oh, he's trying to go for the impact, but the trade will take it. Otani had more than help for that transaction and will move on over Latif. 2-1. But it wasn't free.
Damn. Unfortunate for Latif there. Otani taking it though. A very important match. Obviously going down one game. Again, we've seen this so often today, right? Player taking that first game, and then the second player, the one who's 1-0 down, making a 2-0 comeback. I mean, I don't know if it's going to say much for when we get this into first to 3 territory, if that's going to change. But it'll be exciting to see when we get to those playoffs. But I think Otani there got himself a little bit closer to possibly qualifying. I have to check. Obviously, Phenom and Mena are D in that same pool, and those two being the favorites to make it out. And we'll have to see how that pool is actually shaping up. But yeah, I mean, Otani's been shown up really big on this Luke, man.
Yeah, he's doing good with it. I like him recognizing the lacking in terms of like anti-airs that Latif had, and that's something that you have to like pin down in this game, right? If you're new to Street Fighter, you know it's different than his other games that he's played. You know the characters that he's played too as well, especially when you have big jump in normals like jump fierce, jump heavy kick, which you really have to be looking out for even more so than your typical jump ins. And honestly, his pressure on the ground was good, but it's just the aerial approach was a big factor. I feel like how Otani got that victory.
For sure. I mean, that is the problem, right? You gotta really have your anti-airs on deck, because in Street Fighter 6, like pretty much every jump-in button has been juiced up to the maximum. You know what I mean? Like they made sure that these jump-in buttons, you gotta be on point with your anti-airs, otherwise they're gonna hit you like if you're a little bit too slow.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate. Look at the whip punish too as well from the Samfiers. I'm sure Otani has played. I'm sure he's played like people from Nagoya Ojibati Star, like Akira, who is like a really good Kami player, and many of the other Kami players that are out there, like Kazunoko and stuff like that. He knows the matchup. He knew how to space himself out against that Samfiers, crouching medium punch, and he knows that he is still probably in the running. From what chat has said, Kudo is pretty much out. So it's up to Zen, Mono, and Punk right now. As Punk is still making a fantastic run
I think
through his pools.
Seems 3-2 for all of them? Is it 3-2 for everyone, really? That is an intense pool, man.
Brother.
I mean, no surprises. I mean, again, I think for me, Mono definitely showing up big. We'll see how that pool shapes up. Pretty much, like I said, every pool, every group has just been a fight for this top spot. And a lot of people have been able to make it. And of course, the top 2 do make it to that top 16 for the playoffs, which will be happening again tomorrow and Sunday. And yeah, obviously that's where all the money is, you know. So for the players, if they want to get some of that cash prize and the lion's share for that number one, for some of that $1 million, they're gonna have to make it out of these groups in that top 2.
Some of that $1 million. That is crazy. Only some, but you know what's wild is that you get so much for that $1 million. I'll tell you who's gunning for that $1 million. It's the Alpha.
Is it? I mean, obviously, man. I mean, he's still in it, obviously. Like I said, in that group, 3-2 for the top 3. It's intense. It's getting intense. These are the games you have to win, basically, if you want to stand a chance. I don't know how it will add up. But yeah, anyway, we'll learn a little bit more about Punk coming up in this very nicely orchestrated video.
There's a lot to really say about Punk, but I think what actually makes Punk is his consistency and his clutch factor. He is by far one of the most ridiculous players that we've ever asked for in this current era, and even into like Street Fighter 6, he's looking to be that same way. I think it is absolutely the clutch factor that he has in him that makes him propel and also establishes him as Punk the God.
I mean, Punk is the star of the show when it comes to the NA scene, in my opinion, not only because his results speak for themselves, right? He's always at the upper echelon of them, but his personality, the way he carries himself, the way he goes about social media. Like, he is a zeitgeist. He is the cult of personality, what I like to call him. And just in general, I think he's kind of defined a play style that a lot of people want to adopt and bring to the forefront themselves. So I think he's one of the most important players, period, not just in the NA scene, but in the world.
I decided to play Street Fighter. I don't really know why, to be honest. I just liked the Street Fighter 4 commercial, and I just kept playing since then.
There are a lot of different strengths that Punk has, but there's the one thing that kind of stands out above all of them, and everybody could agree on this, it's his reactions, right? It leads into amazing footsies, great whiff punishes, as well as amazing confirms throughout every single game. So I think it has to be his number one attribute are his reactions, no doubt.
My favorite match probably would have been actually my match versus Tokido at NTR in 2019, I believe it was.
Tokido with a humongous lead here. Punk, he's got to make it happen.
That's enough!
The buffer, no! Looks for the chip out!
Chip, damn it, from Tokido!
That's gonna be it!
It was just very funny. It was so close that after the set, Tokido looked at me, he's like, I'm so tired. And I'm like, I don't really understand how you're like extremely tired from playing a fighting game, so I just thought that's like a pretty funny thing that he said to me after.
I think Punk's taking the whole bag, baby, straight up. And like, that's why I say he's powered up from the prize pool, from coming off of Evo, getting exposure to the top level players in the world. I think he's taking the whole bag.
I feel very confident to win the whole tournament. I just got third at Evo, which both the matches I end up losing was so close that if we played them again, maybe I would have won Evo. So I feel like if you can do that good in Evo, any event you go to, you have a great chance to win.
Alright, what a lovely little feature video on Punk, who we'll probably see coming up on stream coming up very shortly. I mean, off to a slightly rocky start here in Gamers8, but has been on a pretty good streak since. I think he lost the first like 2 games and now hasn't dropped one in the last 3. And this is where I think he's going to be up against Zen. It's really going to matter. Of course, these guys I think got the same scoreline. I mean, if you're going to want to qualify for that top 16, you're going to have to take the win here.
Absolutely, as mentioned in the video, Punk, the alpha. You know, he's been consistent, bro. He is a consistent player, consistent tournament winner. And what's wild is some of the times that he has consistency is when he loses, bro. When he makes those losers runs, they are legendary, and he is an absolute demon, which is kind of what's going on right now, is that he's making a bit of a loser's run. How to get these points up on the board?
Yeah,
like if he has to fight Zen, he's got to get that win. It's going to be difficult. There's a punish counter, calling out that crouching medium kick. That's been a pivotal thing in a lot of matchups. Using that sway and play, we're gonna have to see players work around and operate around that.
Yeah, I think it's definitely maybe DJ's best tool is the just cool sway, man. I mean, the things that lets you do the damage you get off of it, the convert. Oh my god, Punk going for the immediate eye catch, and Zen maybe sleeping, but look at this side swap combo. Zen not only reacting to his own DI, but also had some sick conversion there. And now I want to see that low cut level 1. Punk nearly got beat.
Punish.
Oh, there's that just cool again, Cola.
Like, that move is ruling against the lows continuously. And the way that Zen and other DJ players have been using it out here, another other echelon of this character, it's hard to sit here and downplay him when you see things like that. Reverse slight punch starter, driver's in, baits out the throw though off that stand fierce. Again, you're not looking for damage, getting a lot of Oki and looping this pressure. That's the Cammy way.
That's what you gotta look for, man. That's what you gotta do. Get that corner carry, slowly punish him in the corner where you get those big throw loops. I like the neutral jump again. We mentioned it in the DJ mirror. It's such a good tool against DJ if you're afraid of that drive rush in. Definitely uses access to his anti-airs if he does do that. And now, oh my god, wait, the jackknife maximum trading with the dive kick? He must have done the medium version.
Unfortunate. Zen doesn't have much bar to work with. He does have a lot of options. He has that level 3. You're about to see him hit it after that maximum upper. Massage parlor. Bro, Zen should be up a game after this. This is a ton of damage. This is level 3. About to see Zen about to possibly take this over Punk.
That's a weekend of pleasure. you ain't getting over that one quickly, man. And immediately, one game up for Zen. Punk gonna have to fire back pretty fierce. But like I said, we've seen this a lot, right? Someone goes down one game, they make the 2-go comeback. We'll see if Punk can do the same.
He's got to have that energy of like, I'm in losers, and I got to like tighten up. I got to get Shin Punk on the line. Shin Alpha. There's the throw. Then love to get a punish counter though. There's a sway. Now avoiding the dive kick. It's like that mid-range like does not exist against it.
What? And the DI and no, Punk's not reacting. And that's going to be set point for Zen, man. Off of this DI in the corner. One game away. And again, this is where it really matters. I think if Punk loses this, he might not be able to make it into the playoff spot.
I think so. I think that may be the case. If he does win, he's in. Look how dangerous this is. Down all these rounds. He interrupts the drive rush though, and now he's a little bit better about that. I feel like driver slight punch has been landing a little too often, but here's that sand medium kick, gets the spot and the throw right after. Yeah, better than taking like the strike.
That was a meteor sweep. Punk just crashing out. Doesn't actually go into level 3. I don't know if he wanted to. I would say he wanted to level 3 there. Maybe it didn't come out. Gonna not be level 3 just yet either. Maybe trying to save the meter at this point. Hard to say. Gonna burn himself out. Level 3 on deck. The back jump into the forward jump. Good neutral jump again. It's a good option. The DP, no, it whiffed. Oh,
and that's gonna be Zen moving on over Punk 2-0. Once again, the W done by Zen. Just too locked in with that sway. I feel like that eliminated so much of that close to long to mid-range that the character would like to play at. You want to play with crouching medium kick, dive kicks. The sway deleted and defeated all of those things. We finally start to see the neutral jump, but it was a little bit too late, and too lost was Punk, as he, I believe, is out after that. Damn.
Yeah, we'd have to get the table up to see really exactly how it's going to work out. He might still be able to make it over Mono. I think it might come down to whether Mono loses the next game. Not too sure. We might have to see, but I think that is guaranteed to be Zen into that playoff spot. And we're going to see exactly how that happened. I mean, it was a very quick kind of 2-0 against Punk from Zen. But yeah, we saw a lot of that just cool. The funky slicer, the follow-up, the low is incredibly good, man. Look right there.
Look at that.
Training outside of that footsie range is so good, man.
That is just like something that your buttons, like you like to have like punish counter stand heavy kick and to like dab, drive rush dash up for the Oki and stuff. You'd like to get crouching mini kick in their drive rush. You'd like to get all these great things that she's known for. And look at that neutral jump, we're starting to work out, but he misses the DP, and that meant level 3 into death. Actually, CA, the extra amount of damage. Didn't even need the CA, to be honest, to seal it. Zen with the quickness, taking him to the massage parlor, brother. Zen is something different with this DJ. I'm glad he's made the switch. Like the JP maybe wasn't his character. He did do work out at Rebel Kumite. That just showed strength of him as a player. But you can really see the strength of him as a player overall in the DJ. I think he does the just cool stuff more often than other players
He's
with
using
DJ.
it in ways I've never seen before, right? He's using it to contest dive kicks in this footsie range as well. He's not just using it for throw baits or to bait out checks on drive rushes, things like that. He's being really creative with it. And yeah, like I said, I'm glad he made the switch from JP, because I mean, obviously Zen was, I mean, we actually got Zen coming in for a short amount of interview. Just going to brief you guys. Obviously, there's a bit of a delay between us and him, so we're going to ask the questions, and then we're going to wait for the response. Have you got any questions, Cola?
First of all, Zen, I need your favorite MF Doom track right now.
Favorite? Let me pick. What's that? There's one really classic. I need to. I forgot the name. Hold on, let me check.
I'll let you. I'll let you.
Rap Snitches. I remember.
Rap Snitches. That's my boy. I'm done. That's all I needed. That's all I
Is
needed.
it bad? I don't know who that is.
It's good. It's good. He's good.
Rap Snitches, bro.
Oh.
That's my boy. All right. What about you,
so,
Lazarus? What you got?
We talked about it a little bit, but obviously you're playing JP before. What was the thing that made you switch to DJ? Is there anything particular you think the character's stronger, or you just liked his tools better?
Well, I really like JP, but I think it's some matchups are really hard for JP. Like Cammy, maybe not Cammy, but I think Jury is really hard. And you know, I play with Angry Bird, and before I go to Rebel Kumite, I thought if I pick JP, maybe I get a chance to like wash everybody. But Angry Bird really washed everybody there, so I really felt like there was no chance to beat him with JP. So I just, you know, I feel like DJ's better. And also he said DJ versus Ken is 5-5, so I believe him, you know.
Fair enough. So did you also, I mean, you start with JP, say you really liked him. Was it just because he's the big evil guy, just like Bison?
Well, not really. I actually didn't like JP before, but you know, like every Chinese player is playing JP and they be kicking ass, and I just felt like, man, I have to join.
Looks like fun.
Herd mentality. Yeah.
Winning is
you
fun.
see what's broken,
Hey,
go
guys.
for it. Yeah. Well, all right, Zen. Appreciate you for coming through. You know, the interview, and congratulations. You were even more solidified, more to move on in the bracket.
Thank you so
See
much.
you later.
Yeah, good luck. Good luck in the playoffs.
Yeah, see you later.
All right, I'm enjoying this. I like the little interviews we get with the players, especially Zen. Had a lot to say. I like the reasoning. He's just like, yeah, JP was kind of harder, and then basically I was washing everyone, and then I played Angry Bird, and he washed me up, and he's like, oh, maybe I should play DJ. great option. Anyway, guys, we're gonna be going to another quick break, of course. So make sure to stick around and catch up on the A stream, of course, at Gamers8GG while we're on the break, and then come back to us after this short break.
Break down.
right, guys, and welcome back to the group stage of the Gamers8 Street Fighter 6 Invitational. Thanks for sticking around from the break. Unfortunately, we haven't learned how to perfect cloning techniques so we can have Nephew play in 2 places at once. So he was playing on the A stream. We had to wait for him to come and be available for the B stream, but here he is coming up next for what I think is going to be the final game of today on the B stream. Obviously hosted by me, Lazarus, and Saint Cola. Man, are you excited for this last game, which is extremely important, by the way?
No. Of course I'm not excited. I want more action, bro.
Oh.
I want more matches, but we gotta close it out. It's gonna be over, but it's gonna determine so much, right? I think you mentioned this previously. Like if Nephew wins, right, he's in, right? Like if I believe if he wins, because he just beat Mr. Crimson, he should be locked in and he's squared away, right? I think it's the opposite way around. If he beats Shin.
Yes.
Is she in if he wins then? So this determines who gets in then.
Already in, I believe. But if he loses, if Shin beats Nephew's will fall short, and Mr. Crimson will make it through to the playoffs in that second place, I believe.
Ooh, revenge.
Yeah, so it'll be very, very intense here for this game again. A lot to play for, so up to Shin as well. Technically, I think Shin could still lose and qualify. So if he wants to, you know, we don't do that here. But, you know, I don't think you'd want to anyway, right? You want to beat Nephew here and also get that #1 spot. But yeah, I think people have already done the maths on how the tiebreaker will work in this case. Of course, generally, if you got the same score line, so if you're both 4-2 in sets or 3-3, which I think is going to be this case, you'll come down to the individual games of the sets. So depending on how many sets you won 2-1 or lost 1-2 compared to got 2-0 either way, that is the difference that you'll get. You basically get 1 point if you 2-0'd, you get nothing if you 2-1. Which, you know, will come down. I don't think it's going to be a factor in this game, but I think it might be for what will probably be the last game on the A stream, which will be Mono versus, I believe it's Zen. Oh no, it's Mono versus Kudo, that's it. And if Kudo wins that one, I think Punk makes it through, but Mono wins, Mono makes it through. But that one's where the rounds, it'll come down to the tiebreaker.
Dang, that is dangerous. Your tournament life predicated on what is put down in previous matches or other matches coming up, bro. That is scary. Like your chance of the million or the line share of the million might be all gone away because somebody played worse off.
I mean, it very much like that. Like, I think someone in chat, Neff and Crimson have 1 game left. No, it's Crimson has played all his games. It's out of his control now. He's done the best he can. It is up to now Shin to beat Nephew for him to qualify, which is not a good position to be, but that's what happens, and that's how it's laid out for you due to the fact that you lost a few too many games here in the group stage. Obviously, double round robin is going to lead to these situations. That's why, you know, some of these early games where it is very close, it does add up. You know, the ones that feel like they don't matter, they will eventually. They'll come back, you know, bite you in this case.
Yeah, that's why you want to get as many points as possible, as many rounds as possible, as many games as possible, so that when these tiebreakers do happen, that you have the lead. And I think that's super important. I think all these players came in with that expectation, but it makes the storylines even more dire for people out here. You know, Punk is waiting to see if he's still in. You know, Nephew right now has got to get the win out here, and Shin might be ruining that. And Mr. Crimson still has a chance. You know, he's still not off that big stage. So there's so many storylines that are happening right now. And then tomorrow, there's still more that we have. You know, some of those matchups that we get to see. That's the crazy thing is, like, some of those matches are just like exhibition matches. We're just playing them to be playing them. You know, got to play things out as you know, need be. But some of those matches will also determine who is left in those pools. We'll get the full breakdown, I'm sure, online on their Twitter. But right now, we're sticking with what we know directly.
Yes, and of course, also tomorrow will be the start of the playoffs. For that top 16, I imagine we'll work it up until that top 8, which will happen on the Sunday, which will be very exciting, which will also be split up between the A and B stream for that top 16. But of course, on the Sunday, there will be no B stream, so make sure always to go across to the Gamers8 GG channel on Twitch and follow them. They're running the A stream to keep in tight with all the matchups. I think we're just going to have to quickly go to a short break. Unfortunately, we just came back to set the scene, and now we're going to have to wait, I think, for the players to be ready. So we'll be back very shortly.
Break
all so much for patiently waiting as we go through break after break. But now it's time to break down this last match on the B side of things. We just watched on the A side of things that it looks like Punk will be qualifying and moving on by the skin of his teeth. But before we get to the action over here, we got to do those introductions. My name is St. Cola. I'm with Lazarus, and we have a long day at Street Fighter 6. Let's end the night off right with, it looks like, Shin versus Nephew.
Yeah, and this is like you mentioned, the Punk versus the Mono versus Kudo set right there. That was for Punk to qualify. He wasn't even a part of that game, but that was for him to qualify. Obviously, if Mono won that 2-0, he would have qualified. And I think we got a similar situation in this set with Shin and Nephew, where if Nephew takes over Shin, he will be qualified for that top 2 for the playoffs tomorrow. But, you know, if Shin manages to beat Nephew, that means Mr. Crimson will be actually qualified for that top 2 position, which was what puts a lot of stake on these in these games for sure. I think we're going to see them coming up very shortly. Obviously, it's going to be that DJ up against the jury. So yeah, so far Shin's looked pretty unstoppable. I think I lost to Mr. Crimson the first time they played. I got that run back in that second time though, and currently 1-0 up on Nephew also.
And for the people wondering, you know, Shin is not going to be like, oh, I'm just going to take this, or you know, like, you know, take the L or something like that, or get a handoff. It's not going to happen like that. He wants a victory. He wants to have that better seating as much as possible. So if you're any of these players, even if you have qualified yourself and other people's, you know, tournament life relies upon you, you still want to get the victory as much as possible so you can be in a better seating, in a higher position, so you have less games to have to play. When we go to the playoffs, we're going to end the game right now. The final match on our side of things, it seems, Shin versus Nephew. That's going to be DJ versus Jury, and they are definitely not being serious at all. Okay, they're definitely serious when the match starts, but had a little fun with the faces.
St. Cola, there's $1 million on the line, man. You gotta be serious. This is for all the marbles, man. Come on, Nephew. Oh, I mean, you gotta be a bit lighthearted, to be fair, even in this situation. Doesn't get a big punch.
Too much stress.
Perfect parry. But yeah, exactly. I feel like you can ice yourself out if you get too serious. I've definitely been guilty of that before in my past. It's one of the hardest things to deal with is tournament nerves, right? And one of the best ways to do it is to be goofy, just have a little bit of fun. And right now, Zian having a whole lot of fun though with the DJ.
Oh my God, is that gonna reach? Damn. Kratos is so buff for the victory. Gets that corner carry too as well. Shin definitely having a lot of fun. I mean, I feel like this character really fits his style. You know, that mix up, great neutral, great buttons too as well. And you have to have, you know, a lot of game time with this character to understand the nuances of like the confirms and stuff. But Shin is definitely that type of grinder. Finds the anti right there with the back heavy kick, has him caught up in the corner.
Yeah, good spacing as well. Also feinted the fireball, had enough time, and there is that sway, the just cool, the funky slicer, and it's such a good punish counter. So much damage. We know DJ can pump it out so easily. The anti-air stands strong now. Nephew and Chip though level.
No, that's a drop.
That's not enough.
Always looking for the chip. You're right. It wasn't enough to seal the deal, but one more air slasher probably will get that kill, that chip out. But Nephew's not done either. He's got that CA in play. If he's willing to get a sequence head spin, he might be able to get the win, try to get the AI, but he jumped out. He listened to you, but she was just a flight ahead. Still gets a level 3, actually, the CA. Dumping out a lot of damage here. Lazarus, was this kill? Was this kill?
I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say yes. Oh, what it was.
No!
I'm so bad. The ghost for the chip. He just
not enough.
From burnout. Not enough. Oh my God. One last interaction. On one hit, just a jab, suspending it. Oh my God,
he
Nephew!
burned himself out, Nephew. He went for the crouch fierce DP to burn out Shin. What a big bet here. That's Dark Neff. Normal Neff wouldn't do that. Dark Neff though would.
Just patience. I mean, the peace of mind to think, yeah, if I crouch heavy here, he'll be in burnt out, and then my EX DP will chip. Such awareness from Nephew to pay attention to that drive gauge, which Yen was trying to spend desperately to close out the game. And now desperately trying to close out the first game again. Shin got that corner control, the dive kick actually landing. Caught
the overhead.
Ooh. Is that enough?
Here we go. He's got that level 2. Oh, he only needs level 1 to get it done?
I think that's it.
Are you for real? Whoa. Nephew bringing it back from the brink. That sequencing in the corner was super sick. And how he chipped out Shin. I feel like if you do something like that, you might catch even an Evo chip like Shin unawares. He's going to have to put himself right back in the saddle because right now, Nephew starts off real strong right here. And again, a lot of things ride on this. Strive rushes in with the medium starter. Meaty fireball.
Me too. And again, if Nephew wins this set, he's qualified for the playoffs. He's playing for a chance at that $1 million in the playoffs with the perfect Nephew on set point off the back of some ridiculous games.
Satsui no Sun right here. Nephew, Beyond Darkness right here. Getting things done against Shin. Shin getting harassed with the fireballs to dash up. Nothing checked and challenge. The impact here's a splat.
My man can't play. Nephew just pulling out all the dark tricks. Oh my god, the DP on the cross cut as well. He's out of the corner, Shin, but he needs to play, man. He hasn't played in what feels like 3 rounds now. Amazing check. He might build the level 3. No, not quite. In burnout
almost
now,
one
Nephew
hit.
is a bit dangerous position, but one more hit.
That's all he needs. That crouching medium punch, is he able to land that? Or the fireball follow-up. Doesn't even need a level 3 to finish the deal. Nephew getting 2-0 over Shin. Are you kidding me? What kind of awareness do you have to have? What kind of secret arts are you on, Nephew? What kind of darkness is in your heart to make you play like this?
That was a man possessed by the thought of having a shot at some of that prize pool, bro. The way he came back I mean, that looked like Shin's round. Shin's round to lose even. And making that comeback last moment, clutch. I mean, we'll see it in the highlights coming up, just how clutch Nephew was. And he had to be, man. If he lost that game and didn't get any momentum going, that could have been it. That could have been his tournament life here at Gamers8. But no, this guy showed some insane tenacity.
Wow, I mean, it wasn't even like Shin played bad that first round, but then the routing back at the scramble situation just set the pace. I don't even know why we watch this, because to be honest, this is a brutality right here. Wrong game, but still. Watch this. This is sick. Drive rush, OD, try to put as much bar as possible. They're both lacking in health, and Nephew's defense is great right here. Jumps with the fireball, drive rush, doesn't get opened up by the lights at all. He burns him, he notices the drive gauge immediately. That crouch fierce into DP to burn him out, and that set up this momentum, that snowballing from the side of Dark Neff.
Wow, and he just did it. Like, he knew that he did crouch fist out of the block string. He knew Shin was going to try and bait the DP, and he just mashed the crouch face. It's just so smart, just a huge read, and that's like the most clutch play I think I've seen today, and in exactly the game where it mattered.
You know, if that isn't the most clutch play that y'all have seen, y'all gotta show us something. Add us with some of the clips that y'all have seen on both A and B. But we're actually get an interview from Dark Neff himself. I'm a little bit scared. I feel cold draft coming into my house. I'm gonna let you start because I'm a little afraid.
Okay, look. Can you hear us, Nephew? I could just a quick preface. It's gonna be like about a 4-second delay, so if there's a bit of a pause when we ask questions, don't worry about it. I was gonna ask. Insane clutch moment in the second round of that first game. You did the crouch fierce into the DP. Now, be honest, was that crouch fierce intentional, or were you mashing DP?
No, I was mashing DP, and then it just shipped, and I was really happy about that one.
I mean, it worked out, man. It worked out.
Are you kidding me?
It looked really sparkle,
I'm never gonna give you pro players a dang thing anymore. You especially, Nephew. But I hate you so much. All right. I gotta ask a question though. Because you did do good. You locked in. What's your different mentality? What's your mindset? What made you flip that switch from yesterday to today? What was the mental breakthrough that you had, especially up in this match? What made you lock in?
Yeah, I mean, in this match, I'm pretty sure the way that the tiebreakers worked out, I needed to win at least one game, or Crimson had to lose his, but like I was playing mine first, so you know, it was a lot of pressure for me to just get that one game. So after I was about to make that comeback in that second round, I just kind of locked in after that, I feel like, to try and close out that first game. And then the second game, I was just comfortable. Because
you ran
all right.
Nothing to worry about.
I mean, yeah, that looked pretty dominating in the last couple games. I gotta ask though, obviously you made it to playoffs. I think you're actually the top of the group as well. Is there anyone like you trying to avoid meeting early on in the playoffs to try and get a deeper run?
I mean, hopefully I just don't play Punk or Do too early. I would like us Americans to try and get pretty far in the bracket. I guess Meta counts as an American too now. So I just like to see our country do well in this event.
Well, I'm sorry, Nephew, thank you so much for telling the truth. Because we thought that was a sick play. The honesty. We appreciate you. We'll see you tomorrow. Get him out of here, bro. Get him out of here.
I'm so glad I cleared that up, man. I had to know. I mean, it was a sick play. I think the DP might have just still chipped anyway, right? And might have done the burnout and then the chip afterwards because obviously it's multi-hits, so hard
Don't
to
give him
say.
excuses.
But either way, it looked way cooler. And we can just forget that he said it. Okay, guys, he was sick. That was a super insane play. But we've had no shortage of insane plays today, and I'm sure we can continue that tomorrow, where we'll have the final group stages. We'll get the final players in each group who managed to qualify for that playoff spot, which will also begin tomorrow from that top 16 all the way down to that top 8 here on the B and A stream, of course, at Gamers8GG and underscore B as well. I mean, I've had a great time here for the second day here at Gamers8. Again, thanks to the guys running the tournament. It's been insane, and we're finally going to see some even more intense matches. You looking forward to seeing Kola?
Oh, hell yeah. I'm looking forward to the salt. I'm looking forward to the seasoning. I'm looking forward to the streets that we're going to be seeing tomorrow. As you put it, we'll be seeing people, actually the most amount of people being left to the wayside after we tally all the points. We'll still see some exhibition matches because I'm sure some people are out. We still have to play. But we'll also be seeing the playoffs too, as well, so keep it locked and loaded. Same time, same place tomorrow. Until then, stay safe, and we will see you in the streets. Peace out.